When it comes to finding the best games to play on a laptop, your setup will always matter. But here's the good news. You don't need a monster rig to enjoy some truly amazing experiences. From RPGs that pull you into epic stories to action-packed gems that run smoother than you'd expect, there are plenty of games that feel right at home on a laptop. In this video, we're diving into the very best picks you can play right now, titles that deliver big adventures without demanding sky-high specs. Let's get into it. Starting at number 30 is Far Cry 4. Far Cry 4 is one of those games that proves you don't need the latest high-end hardware to enjoy a massive open-world adventure. Set in the breathtaking Himalayan region of Kirai, you step into the shoes of Ajay Ghale, a man caught in a brutal civil war while facing off against the stylish yet ruthless Pagan Min. What makes this such a great pick for laptop gaming is how well it balances scale and performance. The game's world is huge, filled with mountains, forests, rivers, and hidden temples, but it's surprisingly easy to run on mid-range laptops without sacrificing too much detail. You can explore on foot, ride elephants into battle, or glide across valleys with a wingsuit, and it all feels smooth and engaging, even on modest setups. The gameplay loop is pure Far Cry, liberating outposts, crafting gear, hunting wildlife, and unleashing chaos in countless ways. Whether you prefer stealth or all-out explosions, the freedom here is unmatched. Far Cry 4 might not be the newest in the series, but it remains one of the best balanced experiences for laptop play, giving you both gorgeous landscapes and non-stop action without pushing your system to the limit. Next at number 29 is Just Cause 2. This is a game that proves you don't always need the latest hardware to have a blast. Just Cause 2 might be older, it came out back in 2010, but that works in its favor if you're gaming on a laptop. It runs smooth, it still looks great, and most importantly, it's ridiculously fun. You play as Rico Rodriguez, a guy whose entire job is basically to blow stuff up and cause as much chaos as possible. Armed with his trusty grappling hook and parachute, you can do insane stunts, zip between rooftops, hijack helicopters midair, or tether enemies to moving cars just to see what happens. The world of Panau is massive, full of military bases, cities, and hidden corners to mess around in, and the game never takes itself too seriously. It's all about freedom and finding creative ways to make mayhem. On a laptop, this one's a gem. It doesn't demand much from your system, but still gives you an open-world playground that you can lose hours in. If you're after pure, over-the-top action without worrying about specs, Just Cause 2 is still a great pick. Next at number 28 is Portal 2. If there's one game that shows you don't need heavy graphics or insane specs to deliver an unforgettable experience, it's Portal 2. This is one of the smartest, funniest, and most creative games ever made, and it runs beautifully on almost any laptop. You step back into the role of Chell, armed with the iconic portal gun, and once again, thrown into the twisted world of aperture science. The puzzles start off simple, but before long, you're bending your brain in ways you never thought possible, using portals to fling yourself across rooms, redirect lasers, and chain together crazy solutions that make you feel like a genius when it finally clicks. But what really makes Portal 2 shine is the writing. GLaDOS is back with her perfect mix of sarcasm and menace. Wow, and this time, she's joined by Wheatley, a hilarious little AI companion who steals the show. It's a game that constantly surprises you, not just with its puzzles, but with its humor and storytelling. On a laptop, Portal 2 is a dream. It's lightweight, quick to run, and easy to jump in and out of, making it one of the best games to play anytime, anywhere.
I like your style. You make up your own rules, just like me. Bean Counter said I couldn't fire a man just for being in a wheelchair. Did it anyway. Ramps are expensive.
Next at number 27 is Assassin's Creed IV Black Flag. If you've ever wanted to live the ultimate pirate fantasy, this is the game that delivers it. Assassin's Creed IV throws you into the golden age of piracy as Edward Kenway, a rogue privateer turned pirate, sailing the Caribbean, raiding ships, and building your own fleet. What makes Black Flag such a perfect laptop game is how well it holds up even today. You get this massive open world filled with islands, bustling ports, and endless ocean to explore. But it doesn't crush your system the way some newer Assassin's Creed titles do. Even on mid-range laptops, you can enjoy smooth sailing, epic sea battles, and all the sneaky assassinations the series is known for. The naval combat is the real highlight. Upgrading your ship, lining up cannon shots, boarding enemy vessels, it never gets old. And when you're not at sea, you're free running through Havana, diving into hidden coves, or taking on assassination contracts. It's the mix of freedom, exploration, and pure swashbuckling fun that makes Black Flag stand out. On a laptop, it's an easy recommendation. You can set sail and lose hours in this world without worrying about performance dragging you down.
He's trying to give us the slips!
It was a slaver who brought these soldiers. Orm's prince himself.
Next at number 26 is Sniper Elite V2. Sometimes you don't need non-stop explosions or a giant open world. Sometimes it's all about patience, precision, and that perfect shot. Sniper Elite V2 puts you behind enemy lines in World War II, where every bullet counts, and every decision can change how a mission plays out. This one's a great fit for laptops because it isn't too demanding, but still manages to look sharp and deliver tense, cinematic moments. The game is famous for its slow-motion kill cam, where you actually see your bullet rip through enemies in X-ray detail. It's brutal, but it never gets old. And it really sells the feeling of being a sniper. Each mission drops you into wide, semi-open environments, giving you options. Set up traps, sneak past patrols, or pick enemies off one by one from a distance. It's not just about pulling the trigger. It's about setting up the shot, managing your breathing, and planning your escape when things go wrong. On a laptop, Sniper Elite V2 runs well and still feels immersive. It's the kind of game where you can dive in for a quick mission or sink hours into perfecting your approach. Slow, steady, and satisfying. It's a sniper's paradise. Next at number 25 is Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare. This is the game that completely changed the FPS scene. Released back in 2007, Call of Duty 4 took the series out of World War II and threw players into a modern conflict filled with intense firefights, iconic missions, and one of the best multiplayer modes of its time. The campaign alone makes it worth playing on a laptop. Missions like All Gillied Up and Shock and Awe are legendary, mixing cinematic storytelling with gameplay that still holds up today. It's fast, it's tense, and it knows exactly when to hit you with those unforgettable moments. And then there's the multiplayer, which pretty much set the blueprint for online shooters going forward. Custom loadouts, perks, kill streaks, things we take for granted now all started here. Even years later, it's still one of the most balanced and addictive competitive shooters you can fire up. On a laptop, Modern Warfare runs smooth without asking much from your system, and that makes it perfect for quick matches or replaying the campaign. It's a piece of FPS history, and even if you've played the newer entries, going back to the original Modern Warfare is still an absolute blast.
Got him. Got another. Tango down.
Next at number 24 is Mass Effect 3. The Mass Effect trilogy is one of the most iconic RPG series ever made, and Mass Effect 3 brings it all to a dramatic close. You step back into the role of Commander Shepard as the galaxy faces its biggest threat yet, the Reapers. The choices you've made across the series all come together here, shaping relationships, battles, and ultimately the fate of entire civilizations. What makes Mass Effect 3 a solid pick for laptops is that it's surprisingly easy to run, even on mid-range machines, while still giving you that epic, cinematic feel. The visuals may not be cutting edge by today's standards, but the story, the characters, and the action are timeless. The gameplay blends third-person shooting with RPG elements, letting you customize your squad, upgrade powers, and approach combat in different ways. And of course, the conversations and tough moral decisions keep you hooked, making every playthrough feel personal. On a laptop, it's the perfect mix. Big storytelling, engaging action, and smooth performance without needing top-tier specs. If you're looking for a game that gives you both emotional weight and exciting combat, Mass Effect 3 is still one of the best choices out there. Next, at number 23, is Viii, Lacrimosa of Dana. If you're into fast-paced action RPGs with a ton of heart, Viii is one of the best you can play on a laptop. You play as Adol Kristin, a red-haired adventurer who finds himself stranded on a mysterious island after a shipwreck. From there, it's all about survival, exploration, and uncovering the secrets of the land, while battling through waves of monsters in classic Vii's fashion. What makes Viii so good is its combat. It's real-time, lightning fast, and incredibly satisfying. You can swap between party members on the fly, each with their own skills and playstyle, which keeps every fight exciting. On top of that, the island itself feels alive, filled with hidden areas, dangerous bosses, and resources you'll need to build up your base and rescue other survivors. For laptop players, it's a great pick because it's not demanding on hardware, yet it still gives you a massive world and hours of gameplay. It runs smoothly, looks colorful, and doesn't require heavy specs to enjoy. Viii might not be as mainstream as some RPGs, but if you want a portable adventure that's engaging from start to finish, this one's a must.
That brute looks
Next at number 22 is Rise of the Tomb Raider. This game takes Lara Croft's modern reboot to the next level, blending cinematic storytelling with survival-driven exploration. Set in the frozen wilderness of Siberia, Lara is hunting for the secrets of immortality while going head-to-head with the shadowy Trinity organization. It's a mix of intense action, puzzle solving, and breathtaking environments that keep you hooked the whole way through. For laptop players, Rise of the Tomb Raider strikes a nice balance. It can scale up to look gorgeous on powerful rigs, but it also runs surprisingly well on mid-range laptops if you tweak the settings. That means you still get snowy mountains, dense forests, and ancient tombs packed with detail without worrying about performance tanking. Gameplay-wise, it's a fantastic mix. You're crafting gear, half sneaking through enemy camps, solving ancient tomb puzzles, and surviving brutal environments. The bow and stealth combat feel especially satisfying, but you always have the option to go loud with guns if that's more your style. On a laptop, this one delivers that big-budget, cinematic adventure without requiring crazy specs. It's an easy recommendation if you want an action game that feels both epic and personal.
Sorry, Laura.
Damn. Next at number 21 is Hitman Absolution. If you're into stealth games, this one is a great pick for laptop play. Hitman Absolution puts you back in control of Agent 47, the world's most dangerous assassin, and tasks you with taking down targets in creative, calculated ways. Unlike some of the newer Hitman games that focus on wide sandbox levels, Absolution leans more into a cinematic story, but it still gives you plenty of freedom in how you approach each mission. The best part is how well it runs on laptops. Released in 2012, it's not overly demanding, but it still looks stylish, with its dark atmosphere and detailed environments. You can sneak through crowded streets, disguise yourself as different characters, and set up elaborate assassinations, all without worrying about your system overheating. The gameplay rewards patience and experimentation. Maybe you go in dressed as a janitor and poison your target's drink, or maybe you climb up high and set up the perfect sniper shot. It's all about choice and precision. On a laptop, Hitman Absolution is smooth, fun, and easy to get lost in. It's perfect if you want a stealth experience that blends sharp gameplay with a dramatic, story-driven edge.
Look for the barcode.
Hey.
Check it out. Man, be advised. We have a casualty. Stay alert and proceed with caution. Command, we have a casualty.
Next at number 20 is Alan Wake. If you're after a story-driven thriller that feels like playing through a mystery TV show, Alan Wake is a fantastic choice, and it runs really well on laptops. You play as Alan, a writer trapped in a small town where his nightmares start coming to life. Armed with just a flashlight and a gun, you'll face shadowy enemies while unraveling a dark, twisting story that keeps you hooked from start to finish. What makes Alan Wake stand out is its atmosphere. The forests, lakes, and quiet streets of Bright Falls are drenched in tension, and the way light and darkness play into the gameplay is still unique today. Shining your flashlight to weaken enemies before taking them down adds a layer of strategy, and it never stops feeling intense. On a laptop, it's a great fit because the original release isn't demanding at all, and even modest setups can handle it smoothly. You get a cinematic experience, creepy visuals, and one of Remedy's best stories without needing high-end specs. If you're into suspense, mystery, and just the right amount of horror, Alan Wake is one of the best narrative games you can fire up on your laptop right now. Next at number 19 is Dishonored. Few games mix stealth, action, and freedom of choice as well as Dishonored. Set in the plague-ridden, steampunk-inspired city of Dunwall, you play as Corvo Atano, a bodyguard framed for murder who's given supernatural powers to seek revenge. From the moment you get your abilities, the game opens up into a playground of possibilities. You can blink across rooftops, possess rats to sneak through vents, or stop time to set up elaborate takedowns. The beauty of Dishonored is that it never forces you into one style. You can ghost through levels without being seen, or turn the streets into chaos if you'd rather fight your way through. For laptop players, Dishonored is an easy recommendation. Released in 2012, it doesn't push modern systems too hard, but it still looks fantastic thanks to its distinct art style. More importantly, it delivers clever level design and replayability that few games can match. Every mission feels like a puzzle with multiple solutions, and your choices shape how the world reacts to you. On a laptop, it runs smooth, loads fast, and gives you an immersive stealth experience without heavy system demands. Dishonored is stylish, smart, and endlessly fun. A must-play on any setup. Next at number 18 is Watch Dogs. Watch Dogs puts you in the shoes of Aiden Pierce, a hacker vigilante in a near-future Chicago where the entire city is connected through a central operating system. Instead of just relying on guns and explosions, this game gives you the power to manipulate the world around you. Traffic lights, security cameras, bridges, even people's personal data, all with a press of a button. What makes it a solid laptop game is how flexible it is. Released back in 2014, it can be tuned to run smoothly on mid-range laptops while still delivering that big open-world experience. You get a massive city to explore, packed with side activities, mini-games, and plenty of opportunities to cause controlled chaos through hacking. The gameplay mixes stealth, action, and strategy. Sometimes you'll be sneaking into heavily guarded compounds using cameras and traps, while other times you'll be racing through the streets, shutting down traffic as you escape. It's a nice change of pace from standard open-world shooters because it constantly makes you think about how to use the city as a weapon. On a laptop, Watch Dogs holds up well and still feels fresh if you want an open world with a unique twist on control and power.
Call the fellas in. Tell them to hurry.
Next at number 17 is Splinter Cell Blacklist. If you're after a stealth game that runs smoothly on a laptop and still feels modern, Blacklist is a great choice. You step into the boots of Sam Fisher once again, this time leading the newly formed 4th Echelon as you track down a terrorist group threatening the US. The missions take you all over the globe, from hostile war zones to tightly secured compounds, and every situation gives you multiple ways to play. The beauty of Blacklist is the flexibility. You can slip through missions like a ghost, never being seen, or you can take a more aggressive Panther style, using gadgets and silenced weapons to clear the field. Of course, if things go loud, you can also fight your way through, but it's the stealth that makes the game shine. On a laptop, Blacklist is perfect. Released in 2013, it's not too demanding, yet it still looks sharp and plays great. The levels are well designed, the gadgets are fun to experiment with, and the game rewards you for playing your way. It's one of the last classic Splinter Cell experiences, and for laptop gamers, it's a smooth, satisfying mix of action and stealth.
Do a sweep with your goggles.
I'm seeing nothing.
Next at number 16 is Max Payne 3. Few third-person shooters hit as hard as this one. Max Payne 3 takes the series' trademark bullet time gunplay and cranks it up with gritty storytelling and cinematic action sequences. You play as a broken, older Max, haunted by his past and caught in the violent underworld of São Paulo. It's dark, it's stylish, and it's non-stop action from start to finish. The gameplay is where it shines. Diving in slow motion through doorways, dual-wielding pistols, and watching bullets tear through enemies in detail never gets old. Every firefight feels like a carefully choreographed action scene, and the tight controls make it incredibly satisfying to pull off. On laptops, Max Payne 3 is a surprisingly good fit. Released in 2012, it still looks fantastic, but it isn't overly demanding by today's standards. With a decent mid-range setup, you can enjoy the cinematic visuals, smooth gunplay, and intense set pieces without worrying about performance issues. It's raw, it's brutal, and it's one of Rockstar's most polished shooters. If you want an action game that combines story, style, and gunfights that feel amazing on a laptop, Max Payne 3 absolutely delivers. Next at number 15 is Gears of War 3. This one is all about big guns, bigger monsters, and some of the most intense third-person shooting you'll ever play. Gears of War 3 closes out the original trilogy with an emotional, action-packed story as Marcus Phoenix and Delta Squad fight to finally end the war against the Locust and the Lambent. The gameplay is classic Gears: cover-based shooting, brutal executions, and weapons that feel heavy and satisfying, like the iconic Lancer with its chainsaw bayonet. On top of that, Gears 3 introduced 4-player co-op in the campaign, letting you experience the story with friends, plus an expanded Horde mode that quickly became a fan favorite. Now, officially, Gears of War 3 was an Xbox 360 exclusive, but here's why it fits our list. It runs beautifully on most modern laptops today through emulation. With a decent mid-range setup, you can relive this epic without needing much horsepower. And even years later, the visuals and gameplay still hold up incredibly well. If you're looking for a mix of blockbuster action and heartfelt storytelling that runs smoothly on a laptop, Gears of War 3 is absolutely worth revisiting. Next at number 14 is Deus Ex: Human Revolution. This is one of those games that really makes you think about how you want to play. Set in a cyberpunk future, you step into the role of Adam Jensen, a security specialist who gets caught up in a conspiracy that spans the globe. Augmented with high-tech implants, Jensen can be customized in all kinds of ways, letting you shape your playstyle to fit stealth, hacking, or straight-up combat. The beauty of Human Revolution is choice. You can sneak through vents, hack security systems, and avoid fights altogether. Or you can go loud, upgrade your combat abilities, and take down enemies head-on. Every mission feels open-ended, and the story pushes you to think about morality, corporations, and what it means to be human in a world driven by technology. On a laptop, this game is a dream. Released in 2011, it runs well on mid-range systems while still giving you that rich cyberpunk atmosphere. The art direction leans into gold and black tones that make the world stylish without needing heavy hardware. It's smart, it's flexible, and it's one of the best immersive sims you can play today. Perfect for laptops, and still just as impactful years later. Next at number 13 is Half-Life 2. This is one of those rare games that completely changed the way people looked at first-person shooters. You play as Gordon Freeman, a scientist turned reluctant hero, fighting against the Combine, an alien force that has taken over Earth. From the moment you step into City 17, the atmosphere pulls you in, blending storytelling, action, and world building like almost nothing else at the time. The gameplay is a perfect mix of shooting, exploration, and puzzle solving. The gravity gun still feels like one of the most fun weapons ever created, letting you pick up and throw almost anything in the environment. Whether it's flipping saw blades at enemies or using objects to solve physics-based puzzles, it keeps the gameplay fresh from start to finish. For laptop players, Half-Life 2 is an easy win. It's lightweight, runs on almost anything, and still looks great thanks to its clean design and atmosphere. Even years later, the pacing, the environments, and the way the story unfolds without cutscenes make it feel timeless. It's simple. If you've never played Half-Life 2, your laptop can handle it, and you're missing out on one of the greatest games ever made. Next at number 12 is Hollow Knight. This indie masterpiece proves you don't need blockbuster graphics to deliver a world that completely pulls you in. Set in the haunting underground kingdom of Hollow Nest, you take control of a tiny silent knight exploring a vast, interconnected world filled with secrets, deadly enemies, and tough-as-nails bosses. What makes Hollow Knight special is how much freedom it gives you. You're never told exactly where to go, yet the game constantly rewards curiosity. Every corner hides something, whether it's a new ability, a hidden boss, or a shortcut that suddenly makes the world feel more connected. The hand-drawn art and eerie soundtrack create an atmosphere that's both beautiful and unsettling, making every dive deeper into the caverns unforgettable. On top of that, the combat is razor sharp. Simple at first, but as you unlock charms and abilities, it becomes this fast, fluid dance where every move counts. And here's the best part for laptop players. Hollow Knight runs smoothly on just about anything. It doesn't demand power, just patience and skill. If you're looking for a game that balances challenge, exploration, and atmosphere, this is one you can sink hours into without realizing it. Next at number 11 is BioShock Infinite. Few games pull you into a world quite like this one. Instead of the dark underwater halls of Rapture, Infinite takes you to Columbia, a dazzling floating city in the sky that looks like a dream, but hides a darker reality beneath its bright colors and parades. You play as Booker DeWitt, sent on a mission to bring us the girl and wipe away the debt. That girl is Elizabeth, and she's one of the most memorable companions in gaming. Not only does she make the story feel deeply human, but she's also genuinely helpful in gameplay, tossing you health, ammo, and salts when you need them most. The combat mixes classic gunplay with powerful abilities called Vigors, letting you shock, burn, or launch enemies into the air in chaotic battles. Add in Columbia's skyhook rails, and fights feel dynamic, fast, and unlike anything else. What makes Infinite shine is the mix of story and spectacle. The themes are heavy, the twists are unforgettable, and the presentation still feels ahead of its time. And best of all, it's optimized enough to run great on most laptops, so you can experience this masterpiece anywhere. Next at number 10 is Metal Gear Rising: Revengeance. If you're looking for pure, over-the-top action that runs smoothly on a laptop, this game is a must. Forget sneaking in the shadows. This spin-off from the Metal Gear universe puts you in control of Raiden, a cybernetic ninja who can slice through almost anything with his high-frequency blade. The gameplay is all about speed, precision, and style. One moment, you're carving through enemy mechs. The next, you're deflecting bullets mid-swing or chopping an opponent into dozens of pieces with the game's free cut system. It's absurd, it's flashy, and it feels incredibly satisfying. But what really makes Revengeance stand out is its energy. From the insane boss fights, like taking down a towering Metal Gear with just a sword, to its heavy metal soundtrack that kicks in as battles escalate, the game knows how to hype you up. It might not have the slow burn storytelling of the main Metal Gear games, but as an action-packed ride, it's unforgettable. And the best part? It's well optimized and runs great on most laptops, meaning you can take all that high-octane chaos with you wherever you play. Next at number 9 is Fallout New Vegas. When it comes to RPGs that truly let you shape your own story, few games stand as tall as New Vegas. Set in the Mojave Desert after a devastating nuclear war, this game drops you right in the middle of a power struggle between factions fighting for control. Who you side with, how you play, and the choices you make all change the course of the story. What makes New Vegas so special is its freedom. You can go guns blazing, sneak around with silenced weapons, talk your way through encounters, or even play the political game to bend the wasteland to your will. It's one of those rare RPGs where every decision feels meaningful, and replaying it often leads to a completely different experience. On top of that, the writing is sharp, the characters are memorable, and the world feels alive with possibilities. And despite being a big open-world RPG, New Vegas is surprisingly easy to run on most laptops. If you've never explored the Mojave, or if you're ready to dive back in and try a different path, New Vegas is one of the most rewarding laptop-friendly games you can play right now.
Oh my. Eat this!
Next at number 8 is Doom 2016. If you're looking for raw, high-octane action that feels amazing on a laptop, Doom 2016 is the definition of it. This reboot brought the franchise back in the loudest, bloodiest, and most stylish way possible. You're the Doomslayer, and your only job is tearing through hordes of demons with a mix of speed, heavy firepower, and pure aggression. What makes Doom 2016 stand out is how smooth and fast the combat feels. There's no hiding behind cover here. You're constantly moving, swapping weapons, and chaining together brutal glory kills that keep the action flowing. The soundtrack is just as relentless, pushing you to stay in rhythm as you rip and tear through the chaos. And the best part? The game is surprisingly well optimized, meaning it runs great on a lot of gaming laptops. Whether you're blasting through the fiery depths of hell or exploring Mars' industrial corridors, Doom keeps the adrenaline pumping without slowing down. For players who want something that feels powerful, responsive, and completely unrelenting, Doom 2016 is hands down one of the best action games you can enjoy on a laptop today. Next at number 7 is Dark Souls 3. If you want a challenge that'll push your patience and skills to the limit, Dark Souls 3 is a must-play on laptop. From software crafted an atmospheric, punishing, yet deeply rewarding action RPG that feels right at home even on modest setups. You step into a dark, decaying world filled with twisted enemies, haunting ruins, and massive bosses that will test every ounce of your focus. The combat is deliberate and precise. You'll need to learn enemy patterns, time your dodges, and strike when the moment is right. It's brutal at times, but when you finally overcome a tough fight, the sense of accomplishment is unmatched. Beyond the battles, Dark Souls 3 shines with its interconnected world and environmental storytelling. Every castle, swamp, and ruined cathedral feels like it has history, and uncovering its secrets is as satisfying as toppling its monsters. Best of all, the game is well optimized, so even laptops can handle its gothic landscapes and intense combat without much issue. If you're looking for a demanding but unforgettable experience, Dark Souls 3 absolutely earns its spot on this list. Next at number 6 is Prototype 2. Sometimes you just want pure chaos, and Prototype 2 delivers that in spades. Playing as James Heller, a soldier infected with the same virus that gave Alex Mercer his powers, you're dropped into an open-world New York City with one goal: tear everything apart until you get answers. The game is all about power fantasy. You can sprint up skyscrapers, leap across rooftops, and unleash devastating abilities that turn enemies into nothing more than splatters on the pavement. Shape-shifting, tendril attacks, brutal finishers. It's violent, stylish, and ridiculously fun. What makes Prototype 2 a great fit for laptops is that, despite being packed with open-world action, it's not demanding on hardware. You can dive into its over-the-top combat, experiment with powers, and wreak havoc without worrying too much about performance. It's the kind of game that doesn't ask for patience or precision. Instead, it lets you feel unstoppable while giving you the freedom to decide how much destruction you want to cause. For anyone who loves open-world chaos with a darker twist, Prototype 2 is an easy recommendation.
Don't attack Blackwatch. You're on the same side. For one.
Next at number 5 is Batman Arkham City. If you've ever wanted to feel like the Dark Knight, this is the game that nailed it. Arkham City takes everything that worked in Arkham Asylum and blows it wide open, dropping Batman into a sprawling open-world prison filled with Gotham's most dangerous criminals. From the fluid free-flow combat system to the slick stealth takedowns, every encounter feels like a test of your skills as Batman. You'll glide across rooftops, grapple between towers, and stalk enemies from the shadows before striking fear into them. On top of that, the story packs in iconic villains like the Joker, Two-Face, and Mr. Freeze, making every mission feel like a piece of Batman's legacy. What makes it stand out as a laptop-friendly game is that it's not too demanding, yet still looks great and plays smoothly even on mid-range setups. Whether you're chasing side quests, cracking Riddler puzzles, or diving into the main story, Arkham City keeps you hooked from start to finish. It's not just one of the best superhero games ever, it's one of the best action-adventure games you can play on a laptop right now.
Stop that! Those things are antiques! Leave them alone!
Next at number 4 is Battlefield 3. When it comes to large-scale warfare on a laptop, Battlefield 3 still holds up as one of the best shooters ever made. This game set a new standard back in 2011 with its incredible visuals, destructible environments, and huge battles that felt alive with chaos. The single-player campaign delivers intense cinematic missions, but the real heart of Battlefield 3 is the multiplayer. Massive maps, vehicles like tanks and jets, and that classic mix of infantry and vehicle combat make every match unpredictable. Few things beat the thrill of coordinating with your squad, capturing objectives, and pulling off a last-second win. Despite being over a decade old, Battlefield 3 runs surprisingly well on most laptops today, especially with some settings tweaks. And even now, the Frostbite engine keeps the firefights looking sharp and the explosions spectacular. It's the kind of game that makes you feel like you're in the middle of a full-scale war, and it still delivers that adrenaline rush, whether you're playing solo or jumping online. Battlefield 3 remains one of the most exciting shooters you can dive into on a laptop right now.
Damn, son.
Next at number 3 is Red Dead Redemption. When people talk about iconic open-world experiences, Red Dead Redemption stands right at the top. Set in the dying days of the American frontier, you step into the boots of John Marston, a former outlaw forced to hunt down his old gang to protect his family. It's a story packed with weight, loss, and redemption, and it pulls you in with some of the most unforgettable characters in gaming. But what makes Red Dead Redemption so special isn't just the story, it's the world. From dusty towns and sun-baked deserts to roaming wildlife and random encounters, the frontier feels alive and unpredictable. One moment you're riding into a gunfight, the next you're helping a stranger on the side of the road, or watching how quickly things can turn violent. Gameplay mixes tight third-person shooting with horseback combat, hunting, and poker at the saloon. It's a world that lets you slow down and soak in the atmosphere, but also throws you headfirst into gritty shootouts when trouble finds you. Even years later, Red Dead Redemption runs well on modern setups, including laptops, making it a must-play if you want an emotional, cinematic adventure that defines what gaming can be. Next at number 2 is Grand Theft Auto V. Few games have managed to dominate the gaming world quite like GTA V. Released back in 2013, it's still one of the most played titles today, and for good reason. Rockstar delivered a massive open-world set in Los Santos, a satirical take on modern-day Los Angeles, filled with detail, personality, and endless things to do. The story follows 3 very different protagonists, Michael, Franklin, and Trevor, whose lives collide in a mix of crime, chaos, and big money heists. Switching between them keeps the narrative fresh and lets you experience the game from multiple perspectives, each with their own unique style of gameplay. On the gameplay side, GTA V is a sandbox in the truest sense. You can drive, fly, rob banks, go golfing, or just cause complete mayhem across the city. Add GTA Online into the mix, and you've got an evolving multiplayer world that keeps offering new modes, missions, and wild experiences with friends. Best of all, it runs surprisingly well on laptops, especially with a little tweaking. Whether you're here for the story, the open-world freedom, or the chaos of online play, GTA V is an essential experience every gamer should dive into.
Gotta go then! Snitch-ass fool thought we was smart! Now he ain't thinking shit! I'ma follow you for a minute! Here again? Oh, you see that shit? Come on, little homie, let's do this! Enough with all that shit! We on our way! Fuck! Cops outside! I ain't going back! I'm right behind you! Hey, here's the exit! This the way out! These motherfuckers on the sky!
Finally, at number 1 is The Elder Scrolls V: Skyrim. When people talk about games that defined a generation, Skyrim is always at the top of the list. Released in 2011, Bethesda's open-world RPG gave players an enormous fantasy world to lose themselves in, packed with mountains, dungeons, towns, and secrets waiting around every corner. You step into the shoes of the Dragonborn, a hero with the power to absorb dragon souls and use devastating shouts. But what makes Skyrim so special is the freedom it gives you. You don't have to rush through the main story. You can become a master thief, a powerful mage, a wandering mercenary, or even just spend hours hunting, crafting, and exploring. The world feels alive, with dynamic quests, memorable characters, and a sense of discovery that never really ends. Mods have kept it thriving for over a decade, transforming the game into whatever players want it to be, whether that's improved graphics, new quests, or total overhauls. Skyrim isn't just a game, it's a place you can keep coming back to, and each time it feels new. That's why it earns the number 1 spot as the best game you can play on a laptop right now. And that wraps up our look at the best games you can play on a laptop right now. Whether you're running a high-end gaming setup or just a solid everyday machine, these titles prove you don't need crazy specs to have an unforgettable experience. If you enjoyed this list, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe for more gaming breakdowns, and let me know in the comments, what's your favorite game to play on your laptop? Until next time, thanks for watching, and happy gaming.